Let's welcome. Hold on.
Okay, there we go.
Welcome to the LeafCast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Take a breath.
Take a breath. Yeah. Breathe in, out.
This is the last book of the series. My name is Ryan, and I'm excited to join everyone in this celebration of the last book.
Oh well, it's not the last book of the series. It's the last.
You're right.
Yeah. It's the last book of the series of Crown of Swords on this channel.
Last chapter of the book.
Yes. Hi, guys. Welcome. Hi. It's been a long day. It's okay. We finished, but we killed this book, guys. We're ready to finish this shit up. We're gonna get Josh and Kay's gonna be on hopefully soon. We learned her computer's not good, so.
Whose is?
So we are working that. We are blessed with Flesh Tom today. No Felt Tom.
Yeah, I got home late and was way too tired to set up my whole
It's
thing.
all good. No, you look great.
I don't even know what you're talking about. It's good to have a special guest on. That's what I'm saying.
No, special guest co-host Flesh Tom.
You know what, guys? I left my book over there. I need to go get my book. Ryan, you take over.
Hey, Flesh Tom, if you see me, Tom, let him know. Or if you see Felt Tom, let him know. We miss him.
I will. He usually hangs out in his little box back there, but he's currently on location somewhere, in an undisclosed location.
All right. Well, Jesus Christ, we barreled through this book. We got to the very end.
I can't wait to really fast.
Yeah. I like the pacing. I do. I think we have a special guest. Are you ready?
The pacing does stress me out a little. But go ahead.
No, but we're never going to be. The show is never going to catch up to us. We're always going to be ahead of the show, which is what we need for our first-time readers to be. And there she is. You look great. Can we hear you?
I don't know if she could hear us.
She cannot hear us. We'll work on that. All right.
And she's gone.
It's a big day.
It is. And Josh
I'm rocking like Josh, by the way. You got the beanie on again.
The beanie looks great. It's a great beanie.
Thanks.
Josh will not comment on it ever. Do you notice that?
No.
Like,
I
it's like you keep.
I just blew your false theory, Ryan.
He's like, I hate it so much.
He's like, yeah, fucking dumb beanie.
That's my thing.
Great looking beanie.
It's my
thing. What puppet militia, Dan? Really?
Puppet militia.
That's a dirty word.
I'm just
MaTsDaGger says we all rock. MaTsDaGger, thank you so much for your generosity and your donation. You are helping our channel out. I will say that we used some funds to upgrade Lady Catherine's stuff just recently. Yay. And she is so grateful, and her stuff looks great. We just put a video up on today, and it's just way better. She didn't have a laptop even like at
So if just so you know, all your donations, Patreon, etc., has gone towards this great cause. Lady Catherine got a laptop, a camera, and a ring light, and a headset, so she's all set.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah. This is what we do, guys.
For real.
And we finish books. That's also something we do.
We want to lift all boats, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the neoliberal wet dream.
Did Josh shave his head?
No, he has a mohawk.
No, he has a beanie.
I have a fade, like usual.
No, mega fade. He's a Hessian.
It fades from beard from his chin strap beard to the beanie. That's it.
There's so much hair underneath that once he pulls it off because it all goes down to one side like Maynard from Tool.
I don't know what you mean underneath that. There is no underneath that.
Yeah, Maynard.
Oh, it's beanies all the way down. We've
beanies all the way through.
All right, we have established that. We're gonna check in. Are you ready, sweetheart? Love of my life. You're muted.
She's muted.
You're muted.
Oh, you can hear me
there
now.
You are!
Yeah. Na, 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 na.
Yeah. We're good.
We're good.
I had to scooch about that away, but it's worth it. Yay!
Yes, Snowman Garden. Josh is a fade.
That's right.
He's got the mask of mirrors on to hide his no eyes.
All right, we got to bring the hosts up here.
Yeah, Josh is
First time readers down there. We're lording over you.
I'm definitely having the tug from Shao Ghul today. So.
Jesus.
Tug from show.
I got a good view from up here.
Nice.
Oh no.
Tug from Shao Ghul, is that a drinking obligation already? Yes. There we go.
Just like flicking dollar bills at you guys.
DKmoon speaks truth. And,
Superfly made
so
it.
does Spring Flame.
Hello, Superfly.
Hi, Superfly. Good seeing you again.
I also recently found out MaTsDaGger doesn't live that far from me, so we have to do some on the scene stuff at some point together. Gotta get him over here.
Oh, have him on live.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Oh hi. Oh yeah.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
That's funny.
So I can't stick around too late. I talked about this. I talked about my situation on Monday when I was hanging out with Rob from Out Here Talks and one of our other Dragon Mount staff members, Crystal, who's fantastic. She had a lot of fun on camera. It was her first time doing like a live or anything. She was great.
You guys were awesome. It was a fun show.
Yay! So my wife recently got laid off suddenly. Like 20% of her company got laid off because her company is because we live in a capitalistic hellscape. But her company's gearing up to get sold, so they laid off a whole bunch of people. But that's causing me to have to get back into the hustle of the regular. I want to say 9 to 5, but it's really like 5 to 4. Right. So I got to wake up early as fuck in the morning. We're hoping it's only going to be for a couple months, so like, or even less. You know, she's got some interviews lined up already. So, because I can't do physical labor for that long, I'll fucking die. But for a little while, I can't be regularly doing 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So I'm gonna take a little break. Just happens to coincide with the last book, but I will be back. And days that I can come and hang out, I'll definitely come and hang out while I'm still doing this nonsense. But I won't be able to do regularly for at least a month or until she gets a new job, at least.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, of course we understand. I mean, and I shared this with you privately, but losing your job is one of the top stressors on that list, that psychological list of all-time stressors. This is a tumultuous time for you guys. And I take care of your health, take care of your mental health.
We're trying.
You guys have each other, and don't forget that. And
we have all you too.
Well, and we love you, man. And feel free to come on. And if you want to come on and vent, man. I mean, we're here for you. Always.
Is that a drinking obligation?
To
come on and vent?
Come on, yeah. I'll come on whatever you want me to, Dan.
You dummy. Okay.
you just point me in the direction, and I'll do whatever you want me to.
It is so nice to come on the show.
We all send Aaron our love. We send you guys support.
I appreciate you. We're okay. Man. Like it's not like it's like we're not like going to be out on the street or anything. But it's we have to change stuff, and that's going to require me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for a little while. So
right, instability sucks, man.
Yeah.
So we love you. That's all.
Yeah, I love you guys.
It is one of the businesses, though, and it sucks. And
it's not. No, fine. But I do really appreciate y'all, and I have so much fun hanging out with you guys, but also everyone in chat. Like, fucking, I've gotten to know a lot of fucking people. Dana Lou, MaTsDaGger, Noman Garden, Waterholic Aussie, like, so many people. And I'm really appreciative of everybody. I'm going to try to do some, I had a couple people reach out about the game streaming stuff. I'm going to try to do some of that still, because I'm only working a couple of, like a handful of days a week. So I'm going to try to do some of that. I have Monday, 9 o'clock still is that. And this Saturday, we're going to be doing the marathon still for season 1 of Wheel of Time. We're going to watch the entire thing live on Twitch, so you can actually join the watch party and watch. And that's going to be a charity stream for the wildfires in Maui, for the people that were affected by the wildfires in Maui. So
nice.
So thank you for doing that, Tom.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
amazing. That really needed more attention, I think.
Seriously, like hearing that there are like 1,000 people missing, and that's like in the United States, is mind blowing.
Yeah. And then you have these fucking companies calling people up, trying to buy their property from them.
Like right off the bat. Yeah. They said, the governor said are not selling any land for the next at least 2 years to someone who's not living in state.
That's so, holy crap. So,
it's gross.
It's really
gross.
It is gross.
So if you don't want to donate to the charity that we have, though, it's the American Red Cross of Hawaii. That's going to be the charity for our channel that we're going to do, because that was the only choices that we had. There's a really good charity that I'm also going to put out links for when I find them again. I'll have them on Saturday, and I think I've posted them on the Dragon Mount stuff already. It's the Humane Society of America has a specific donation, and they're helping people, but also pets, because Humane Society. So. Check that out. Thank you, MaTsDaGger. Yeah, that's where we're going to be streaming over on Twitch, so that you could actually watch the watch party with us.
So Tom, I got two questions. One, can you give us a little behind the scenes of how you got that interview and what it was like to know that you're interviewing cast members?
We made inroad relationships with them early on through Dragon Mount with Jason and through Jordan Con, and my relationship with Sarah. I've known Sarah for since the first Jordan Con. She was the first person I met at Jordan Con, literally, because she was working the registration table at Jordan Con. So she was literally the first person that I walked up to the registration table and I met. And her and Christy, her best friend, were wearing Team Moiraine shirts. And I've said it a million times, Moiraine's my favorite character. So I was like, Team Moiraine. And they were like, oh my God. So we became best friends immediately. But they with stuff like that, they like to go to people that they know aren't crazy, I guess. So that's why mostly they stick with the tried and true media outlets. But they really wanted to get in touch with the fandom, so they went to the ones that they had connections with / knew previously. So that's why Matt Hatch has been in touch with the heart of the Wheel of Time community for 20 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Jason Denzel, the same. And then Jordan Con, Tarvalon.net, and I'm involved in all of those places. So that's how I got involved. But
so did you guys have to arm wrestle to see who's going to actually get the interview? How did you not? Why was it not you, buddy?
Kathy deserves some fun too. She's the new CEO of Dragon Mount. And she does all the hard work behind. Yeah, she's pulling all the levers, making all the decisions, moving the money around. So she should have fun sometimes too. I got to interview Rafe. I got to talk to Hamed. I'm happy. And actually, I think we could talk about this. We got invited back out to LA, but we aren't gonna do that this year because of the strike. So.
All right. Last question is, hey, what happened?
Well, thank you for that decision, by the way.
Last question is, Barney. What happened to Barney Harris?
The big purple dinosaur. He's still on TV. Yeah, he's singing songs on TV still with kids.
Spill beans, dude. Spill beans.
I don't like beans. I'm not a fan of beans.
Spill the free
was he pinching bottoms?
I pinch a lot of bottoms.
All right.
I prefer them to be.
All right, maybe next week we'll get this. Or maybe in a month. I mean.
All right, I love y'all. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll be in chat for a little bit, but then I'm gonna go to bed.
Hey Tom.
Puppets. 99 moist Tom, ladies and gentlemen. And in betweeners.
Tom, I love you so much.
I love you too. I love all of you guys.
This year, and you're leaving just as I'm coming back, and
I know
that sucks. But my best wishes to you and your family.
Story of my life. I love all you guys. I love all the awesome nerds. I will see you soon.
Bye, beautiful.
Bye, Tom.
I miss that guy.
God,
I really wanted to add a label to him, Pinch-a-Lotta Bottoms, but
Yeah,
Pinch-a-Lotta Bottoms.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah.
Bottom.
That's funny.
Pinch a lot of bottoms.
Pinch-a-Lotta
You know what
Bottoms.
have you seen Elliot Edits TikToks or YouTube shorts lately?
Mm-hmm.
They're so
he's
funny. The things
He's
that
good.
like he goes through things that like a Wheel of Time person wouldn't
Never
ever
says,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, and oh gosh, there's some really funny ones, and I don't know, Pinch-a-Lotta Bottoms just sounded like I don't know why I think of Elliot Edits and some of the funny stuff, but yeah, it's just really sweet and hilarious, and always.
I was on the Reddit. I was on the Wheel of Time Reddit subpage, and he had posted a rather long thing saying why Gowan can be like a very cool character in the show if they make certain changes. Like, I like him. He's a fun guy.
He's so creative. He's got a really good like knack for coming up with an idea and then just putting it into action, and it's really clever. I enjoyed meeting him last year at WotCon too. That was really nice. He was so much taller than I expected him to be. And I think that's the first thing I said to him. That's always what someone wants to hear, right? Hey, you're so much taller than I thought you'd be.
I always expect British people to be about 5'5". Little people.
I don't know what
when I see a tall Brit, I'm like, what happened here?
Yeah,
I always think British people use the give me teeth filter on Instagram and TikTok, so you think they have teeth, and then you meet them.
Right, I was being truthful.
No.
You're just being mean.
You're just being straight up.
Being mean. I'm just saying. I just always picture him as being short. I don't know.
God damn. Yeah, me too.
What?
I do too.
Who was the short monkey? Wait, the monkeys. Remember the monkeys? Who was the shortest one? Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
He was handsome, but he was British and he was short.
Teeth filters. Way back then.
Walking down
filters,
the street.
like the
No,
one
he had
that
beautiful teeth, right?
You can't unsmile from the filter. That you're just like, your mouth is like.
And you're just all pissed.
Talking, and you're like, oh, I had the worst day, and it's all.
Ryan's just jealous because he has no teeth.
All right, I knew you were going there. Why you
that gumming it all the way?
Like
gumming
our species gum. We gum the food. We gum.
I know that's not true. Look, I've watched the Muppets. Okay, there are plenty of fucking Muppets with teeth.
There's a Muppet called Dr. Teeth.
That is correct. Dr. Teeth.
Fuck Dr. Teeth. Dr. Teeth is an abomination. Dr. Teeth is
like
a genetically modified.
Snuffleupagus, no teeth. Big Bird, no teeth.
No teeth.
Grover, no teeth.
No teeth.
Kermit,
Ernie,
no teeth.
No teeth.
Elmo, no teeth.
You know what they all have in common?
Cookie Monster, he eats cookies, no
Who
teeth.
the fuck? Literally, who is?
Though, okay, they don't need teeth. They live in the La La Land.
No teeth, bro.
No teeth.
You're eating cookies with no teeth. You're gumming that shit. You're dipping that shit in milk first. You know how hard that would like tear up your gums like a normal person?
Look, he
only into a brittle chocolate chip cookie
from the grocery store.
Brother Dan, Josh is trying to talk.
Sorry, I was finishing my sentence.
I know, and he talked over the last
Yeah,
2, 3,
I know. I'm sorry to interrupt your interruption.
Go on interrupting, Josh.
Cookie Monster only buys soft cookies from the grocery store, Dan.
Oh no! So they're like chewy Chips Ahoy.
So
when what do you expect?
How do they crumble? No, Josh, you're wrong. They crumble in a ferocious, brittly fashion.
Brother Dan, that's when he's learning a lesson. When he needs to learn to count to 4, he has 4 inedible
that's
cookies.
Such a burn. Okay, I'm feeling toasted.
Right? I'm so quick.
I'm peeling from my sunburn from that burn.
Yeah, we got the flamethrowers down here.
Guys, we have a book to finish.
We got a book. You're right.
We got a book to finish.
All right, you want to jump in, Josh? You want to jump in, Kay?
Let's go. Let's
All right.
go.
I
We're
handle
starting at chapter 37, and chapter 37, 38, and 39 are all continuation. It's a Matt flow through. So if you guys jump ahead through Matt, go ahead.
Oh man, Matt almost crying.
Matt. Oh my gosh. So
How many people actually cried when Matt almost cried? It's like
I underlined Matt's trauma here, and
Josh,
I have a
yours-
lot underlined. He's not doing well.
Are we drinking every time Matt gets traumatized?
No.
Okay.
No. But I mean, he jumps every time he hears a sound. He says Thailand makes him feel helpless, which I mean,
he sees pink ribbons. He faints.
Is a Me Too kind of. I don't know. It's horrible. There's a few more in here. Half a dozen serving women eased him in the halls and dragged him into a room.
Yeah, but he wants it though at the end when she kisses him.
Wait,
Whoa. Okay, all right.
no.
So Josh.
Uh-oh.
Are we starting off? No. Are you victim blaming Josh?
Am I what?
Was he asking for it, Josh?
Are you victim blaming? Are you
Was he-
like?
No, but I mean, I don't have
wearing-
to go along with the popular opinion that I still think that this could be seen just as easily as a mechanism for creating opposition to the way that today is the world is in our society. So I hear you, but it's hard for me to like unsee the other side of it.
I will say I hate that he likes her at the end. I don't like that. I wish. I mean, he wants
I
to.
feel like it
leave right away
reinforces the
because of her.
idea that it's all part of seeing Matt get a dose of his own medicine.
Right, and it's gross. I mean, so first of all, Matt isn't rapey. I'm sorry, guys. Matt is not inappropriate in that way. He has described that no means no to him always. Sure. This woman crosses the line every single time, and everyone laughs, including Elaine. When Matt explains, he's like, "No, you don't understand."
I mean, I know. I'm
she
just
doesn't
saying
listen.
that happened for thousands of years in human society.
Correct.
And is looked over on in our society still today.
And
so
at the end, he
reverse
said,
it's important. You got to note that it's the same thing flipped on its head. And why would you do?
But why did he want her at the end then? Why is he like into it then? I mean, if we're going to take the metaphor, it's wrong. Go ahead, Kay.
Can I just ask a question? Oh, go ahead, Brian.
No, your hand. I was saying hands up.
You're good.
You're right.
We're listening.
I was just wondering which part can we reread the part where he like apparently likes it, just to understand the context a little bit better again, because I don't really recall how it sounds, and I think that could make all the difference. Perhaps.
Well, when he's saying goodbye to her, he's like, "Oh, this time I'm going to be doing the chasing," and he has mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and he walks out. It's described the same way that like battle is. There's like a tick in the narrative for a sentence where they like pause and time disappears, and then like he comes out of it and he's like woozy and like just having been pleasured.
Okay, or and that's
Yeah,
that's a framing. I mean,
It really brings up a good point. Like, you can't control how your body reacts. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, but this is also kind of like, Josh, you're like kind of saying that men can't be assaulted in that way.
No, I am. I'm just saying I think he's also making a point.
What point is that?
Yes, but my contention is at the end, he is kind of falling for her a tiny bit, which is gross. It's not that it's justified. It's that
look at it as a sexual fantasy
dynamic.
Rather than this is the two sides of it, right? You can look at it as a sexual fantasy, or you can look at it as a negative metaphor about the way that our culture treats dynamics of power in sexual relationships and washes over what happens.
So
and paints a particular story from it.
I mean, like literally, like he was held at knife point and like I feel like it's an inappropriate like
His clothes cut
like,
off.
He was
yeah,
starved.
like that's not what Matt does to other women. Like to say that he's getting his comeuppance is actually not true. That's absolutely not what Matt does.
I never said that it's not payback. It's just him getting a taste of his own medicine.
What
which
does that mean?
he likes.
He likes sex, but he doesn't like being. He doesn't. Is he? Do we have evidence of him like dominating a woman and like manipulating them into sex, or is he just like, yeah, let's go, baby, and they're like, yeah, you're hot. Like
No. But that is what
he's a Mac Daddy.
No, he performs here out of a lack of agency and with every intention that he would rather not do this.
until the end, where he's like, "Oh,"
which is gross.
No,
I don't like that Robert Jordan did that.
For the 10, that's not gross. That's actually psychologically understandable and part of the trauma process. But like that's a whole nother stream. Like
that's what I'm saying though. It's Josh. He didn't like it. I mean, I guess he did, but he indicated he did. But it's also, let's say, I mean, that's like saying, I mean, this is like Florida. See, you live in Florida, and people are saying that slaves didn't mind being slaves, some of them and stuff. I mean, this is kind of the same shit. It's like, no, this is all wrong. It's the whole relationship has been fucked up, and the fact that he like has
I
had
know,
a
but
week of this or
that's
something.
also calling out our society, right? Like, and you realize it because how do I even convey this? It's
No, it is the Me Too flipped on its head.
The important.
Yeah. Whoa,
What were you gonna say, Ryan? Or was it this?
I was saying that let him go. I want to hear what you're gonna say. Like, this is a big topic. Yeah.
It's hard to convey, I feel like, because it's easy to get lost in the details. And like, I agree that you can read this as wrong. That's the same words, different interpretation. I can hold both of them in my mind at the same time and still appreciate that we're talking about this stuff because it's obvious it's different, because the gender roles, the gender identities of the characters are flipped. And therefore, it's particularly noticeable. If this was done between a woman and a man, it would not be such a point of discussion. It would be looked at as normative, even if extreme.
Wait,
and
if a man held a woman at knife point.
Well, but for instance,
some people might notice it today and make a point of it. Yes, but 20 years ago, no. 100 years ago, definitely not. And I still don't think today. And I'm sorry, Kay, I want to hear what you have to say.
No, it's okay. No. I love what you're saying, and I think it's really fascinating, and it is an interesting point the whole way around. It's so I was saying, like, to your point, what we had just seen was something kind of similar with Rand and what's her face, Alana.
Right.
So that's just that's complicated as well, right? But like in a different way. And so we didn't really, like, I wasn't here for those chapters, but I don't know how much you guys actually discussed those. But I don't feel like it was as big a deal even for me reading it as it was for me reading the Matt chapters. And that hit really hard. And I was like, at first, I was telling you, like, during the beginning pieces, I'm like giggling with it, thinking like, okay, yeah, Matt does this to, women. It kind of felt like that, like a taste of his own medicine kind of thing. Sure. At first. And then as it went on and she starts like starving him out, and like you see that everybody else is like in on it, and she's got this whole group of people that are under her control, and the power that she wields is just like disgusting, and it continues to go on to make him so uncomfortable that he starts crying, and that made me emotional several times within it. So that really, I don't know, and my whole point is that it's just like very triggering. It just felt very like, oh god, awful, icky, clearly icky, like it's very clearly disgusting and icky, but it wasn't as bad, I guess. Like, I don't know, there's just this difference in power dynamics that we're seeing here, and you're right. It wouldn't be a topic of discussion if it wasn't like this, like as big of a topic anyways. Like it would be more like batted past, you know, you just like kind of don't, I don't know what I just batted past. I don't know what that even means, but you know. Bat and I sure you wouldn't like think of it as much anyway.
You would just, it'd be a blip. And like Dana Lou's saying, there are scenes of, you know, men violating women in this book too. Agreed. And they are not as explicit. And there's not as much discussion. And yeah, Matt, it's complicated. And I agree that reading it the way Dan does is totally, you know, on point as well. And I think both of those things can be true. And it doesn't.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that all the things can be true. It's all bad. It's all traumatizing. It's all not, these are all not good things that, and not good characteristics of people that any of us ever want to be anything like, you know, like these are not good things that happened to these people. These have always been traumatizing events throughout all of the books.
Absolutely. Like
surprised, honestly, like this is another form of it that we just haven't seen as prolific as it currently is in this specific book, in these specific instances. But like this just hasn't come up before. But all the other traumas, all the other versions have, and you know, this is just another one to process, I think.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, though, like,
where'd Dan go?
I don't know. We'll figure that out. But like, yeah, this is a great discussion, and
but yeah, important.
Like it's
this is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's admirable that RJ went there, but I also think in the execution, like in the dismount, like people who have suffered through it, like are not satisfied. And like for Matt to like go back and be like, yeah, like I'll be chasing you next time, and like that is potentially deeply troublesome to people who've like had those dynamics like in their real life. So
yeah, sorry about that. My computer.
It's all good. Like we're gonna move on from this topic.
Yeah, good.
Unless you okay?
Yeah, no. Yeah, fuck this topic. No, this topic's done.
Fuck this topic. No pun intended.
Yeah, Thailand is how it is. They end friends. He's like, hey, I can't wait to. Kind of, you suck, but I can't wait to see you. Yeah, it's all right. What sucks is Matt. Like Elaine fucking leaning on him though. He's like, hey, have you ever tried different smiles in the mirror? He's like, quote, have you ever considered practicing different smiles in the mirror, Matt? He's like, what? He said, I have heard reliably that this is what young women do to attract the eyes of kings. You might try batting your eyelashes too. And then she's all giggling at him. She's like, snorting. Nah, just dumb. Let's get to fun stuff, though. There's a few drinking obligations in this.
You know,
his hands ran along his spear, unthinkingly fingering the haft.
As they always do.
As they always do. Seen it a million times.
RJ's finger in that haft.
So, anyways, this chapter is not that big. It's just gathering the party to go to the Rahad. They're gathering all their people. They're going. They apparently with the wise women with them, the healers. Man, no one touches them. They're like nuns. So having the wise ones around or not the wise ones, the wise women around is no big deal to go into the Rahad. Beslin's there with his buddies. They're like, oh, this is going to be boring, yawn. And they pretty much just go to the boat, pretty much, right? He gets a note from Thailand calling him his pigeon.
Right.
Pigeon.
He says, I'm having your things moved to my apartments. I have seamstresses coming to measure you. Duckling. He finds out that Mogideon is out there. Lan tells him, and Lan also says, yeah, I married Nynaeve last night in a weird ceremony with the sea folk.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
Hand on sword hilt.
And Matt's all these flaming women. He's like,
are
you talking about my wife?
Hey, Reese is telling us to double drink. What's going on? What do we miss?
I'm following orders. I don't know.
All right, Reese, fine.
Okay.
Hey, that's my drink.
What?
What?
Did you leave it in the other room, Ryan?
Yeah. We're good.
Quote, Elaine struggled with herself visibly, her lips compressed.
No.
What? You haven't... Ryan, if I see you struggle with yourself visibly with your lips compressed...
Yeah, you should come give me medical attention.
No.
All
right.
Jesus
I wasn't
Christ,
asking you, I was asking Josh, but that's fine.
All right,
all right. I agree with that one. I already checked.
All right,
out of context, quote, in the middle of a sentence, for you to come.
Thank you.
For you to come, Matt.
Yep. Player. Oh, she's so cute. Player.
I mean, that is a stretch.
So cute.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Look at that.
I love it.
Quote, is
that sexy bitch.
Quote, is Avienda coming? No? Yes? Okay, Ryan says yes.
Oh my god, look at that bitch. What the fuck? Her hair was so full. What happened to her?
So yeah, we learned that. What do you have? What are your guys' thoughts about the fact that Lan and Lan and Nynaeve are officially married? The Sea Folk married them. There was apparently bargains involved even in marriage, huh?
Consummate that.
I mean, they both had to make some concessions. It sounds like. Which they're still in the honeymoon phase, so she's like, "I'm not angry with you," and he's like, "Whatever you say, dear." Yeah, I don't know. It's gooey and gross and fun. It's a honeymoon. Yeah, they're
bending her over all the pieces of furniture and throwing her up against the wall. It's good.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, they're slam. Yeah, she's like, "You fuck me so good."
He's getting a hernia and what?
Quote. A little harder if that was possible.
I mean, isn't...
Right, I'll say it again. Quote. Quote. A little harder if that was possible. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Jeff.
I mean... The Athamier have several marriage customs. They were surprises for both of us. A small smile touched his mouth, if nothing else.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't get much more explicit than that.
Lan is kind of like that guy that hangs out with you guys and then suddenly has a girlfriend and then changes a little, So when Matt's like, these flaming women, he's like, you don't mean my wife, do you? He's like, oh, no. I met,
no one wants to hang out with that.
I say women? Yeah. I met woman. I met all Elaine. All Elaine. No, not even.
Lan became so uncool in my mind.
Yeah, not the girl I grew up with my whole life. No. I was talking about the princess over there. Fuck her. But no, Nynaeve, the one who I'm really, really close with and knows me better than anyone. No, I would never talk bad about her.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, don't beat me up, okay?
At risk of death,
I
will censor my opinions about my friend.
Seriously, Lan would just chop your head off.
Yeah, you can't shit talk around Lan. Like, for real. Like,
he doesn't understand sarcasm.
Yeah, it's Lan autistic.
Lan may be a little autistic, right?
I think that Valkyrie are all,
but like a dangerous autism, not like the fun, like not like manager, like just
no, yeah,
dangerous.
further down, all Malkiri are autistic. And we just
Dangerous.
learned that. Yeah. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Look, this seriously though, I only had like a little bit of an issue with the way that Nynaeve like is hanging on Lan throughout a little bit of this. She like, got both hands on.
Okay, she probably it's hard to walk.
Love.
It's hard to walk. Oh shit,
it's probably hard for her to walk right now. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope it's hard for her to walk. I hope that's why she's holding on to him for dear life. Because everything else just is so out of character, and it really made me not comfortable with her. I mean, I don't like Nynaeve anyways, but like I really am not comfortable with her being all like lovey-dovey and hanging on a person, you know?
So do you think?
For the fuck up.
All right. So besides like initial passion here, right? Besides this initial passion, do you think that they would be good lovers like in 5 years? Like, would they have the communication skills to be able to explore themselves a little bit? Does Lan feel enabled to voice what he would like? I mean,
traumatized, and she just tugs on her fucking hair all the time instead of saying anything that she actually wants to really say, because it would be so much worse and more explosive if she said everything she wanted to say. And then Lan feels very just repressed, just everything's just pushed deep down. That's how it feels like. That's what it feels like to me. What do you think,
Josh? I agree with you, Kay. I totally agree. But Josh, what do you think?
I think you're forgetting about the one power.
Okay. I completely was. Yeah, you're right. But let's just take it in a conventional sense. Are they do they have a progressive, adventuresome time in the bedroom, or is it, pat grunt missionary?
I have a question about that. Are Aes Sedai allowed to use the one power? They are, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
In sex?
For pleasure?
Oh yeah.
Fun.
Oh yeah. Aes Sedai sex, I bet, would be the best. I mean, you get a healer. A healer would know everything. So
why do you assume that it's so stiff? Lan is passionate, if maybe quiet and stoic. But they're also adhering to, they both have very traditional values, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But I bet Nynaeve gets wild.
Nynaeve, I think, is very still. I mean, this is a woman who would beat people when she found kids in a hayloft and drag them by their ears to go get married. I don't want to get gross, but if Lan's like, hey, he's like, hey, you have a hole right near where I normally go in. Can I probably go in that one too? I don't know if she'd be like cool, or if she'd be like pulling her braid and being like, how dare you, and pulling a Fayo where she doesn't talk for 5 days. You know, that sort of shit.
I think you gotta trust in Lan, Dan. You gotta trust that Lan's like a barometer of like he would know.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think Lan would cross boundaries or even like feel enabled to necessarily cross boundaries because he doesn't want to hurt. Just like Rand felt with Min, Lan doesn't want to hurt Nynaeve, so he's not going to go too hard. He's been with other women. So we know that he has some experience that Nynaeve doesn't have. So I think that he would just stay in her lane and wouldn't necessarily like.
Lan had been groomed by his whatever she was called, though, right?
But I mean, right, his sex teacher.
Right. So I mean, why would you not assume the dude is suave?
Because Nynaeve isn't. I'm not saying that he.
But Nynaeve is
I'm
wild.
saying with the right woman, he would go
different.
crazy. But I think that Nynaeve is the is.
I don't think we can answer this
governor.
question to a degree.
I think they ignite each other in a lot of ways, but I think we should also move on. But yes, I do think that there's some deep-seated kind of trauma bonding shit. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
We're only seeing honeymoon stuff.
Expresses things he's very.
Yeah.
I imagine he's private. He only seems to talk about things when he's one-on-one with somebody, and maybe it's somebody that he knows for a long time and has trusted. So then he'll open up, and so maybe there's something that comes out of that, and they have really passionate, love making because there's something that's very specifically understood between the two. of them.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah.
Dan and Lou, we did New Spring after book 5. We covered it live.
You already read it.
Chapter by
I like
chapter.
this. So yeah, we know that Land does have. I'm just talking about Nynaeve and the fact that he is so delicate and really walks on eggshells a little bit around her. I could see that being part of the bedroom scene as well. Just in my head, I don't know how he's like, hey, I did this one time with someone. She'd be like, what? Tug, tug, tug. I don't know. All right. Her braid.
Yeah. Of course.
All right. Chapter 38 is called 6 Stories. This is still Matt. They're getting on the boat. They go to the Rahad. There's something that says, quote, dangled beneath his fist. Fine. Anything?
No.
Okay. Josh, were you picking up when I was dropping?
I'll give you a 10 second. In the court of law, you have 10 seconds, Your Honor, to defend this statement.
Okay. In the bathroom, Jacob walked over to Stephen and gripped his hard wiener. Stephen's balls dangled beneath his fist.
Okay. We have a winner.
Okay. Wow, I get you.
Dangled
That's
beneath his fist. Ryan says
all right.
that is true.
Just so everyone know, I wasn't turned on.
No. I was just.
No. I just saw it.
Obviously,
not turned on by that. No.
Nope, not. Yeah.
There's no. Yeah. Shall we?
When he reached the steps, Elaine had gone down.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
The K dance is so fun.
It's the best thing. Yeah.
Thank
That was in
you.
front of a green
I like the
screen.
background. I like
Yeah.
Thank
We were
you.
on so much math that night.
Obviously.
Yeah, so much math.
We learn a pretty cool curse here, guys. Oh, sheep swallop, and bloody buttered onions.
Yes.
And
I had
Elaine's
to
like,
listen to that. I was like, what the fuck is
Elaine's
I've
like,
never
oh,
heard
sheep
that."
swallowed and bloody.
He's like mouthing it as he says it.
Is the Elaine AI just learning our language?
Yeah, really.
Jesus.
Well, she's never been around, sheep coddling, whatever they're called, whatever men call it.
Woolheads. Yeah.
Halloween.
Bull-headed sheep followers.
So what do you think sheep swallop is, guys?
Poop.
Okay. Well, yes.
The
She's
the swell above sheep. Sheeps.
Let's just cut
So
to
you
this and-
swallow and then you swallow up?
Fuck, damn. We're gonna.
Is that true?
You do both.
You swallow food and then you swallow up food?
I don't know, Dan. I don't
Sheep
know.
swallow up
It
and
feels
bloody
like
buttered onion. Hey,
an owl thing happening all at once, and I
Okay.
don't really detail.
Okay, next time you guys come and visit, I'm gonna make you guys some bloody buttered onions.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ.
Feel like that's similar to a butter nipple or a Bloody Mary.
Sheep's
No.
well, okay, so yeah, sheep's just drool a lot. Maybe it's like cud.
What is the
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm
I'm just
It
wondering.
means it's a portmanteau word that means a dollop of swill.
See?
A dollop of swill,
Look at
Swallop.
that. Look at these.
which is a
changes.
swallop.
I love this. I love this crowd so much.
I feel like a new shirt design is coming out soon.
Yeah,
Swallop.
right. I'd
Does
love
it
to see.
say
Swallop a brand.
And swallop and
What
and
one man's
are there
Dollop-
beans
yeah,
that say
yeah.
Dome of Truth? Because
Yeah.
that's really what you need.
yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, one man's swallop is a dollop of swill.
A bloody nipple. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Swallop dollop
New
swill.
drink named a bloody nipple.
Bloody swill.
Had
Okay.
that before.
Yeah, you're welcome, chat.
Oh,
You can do
So,
that.
Ryan, I think we have our first poll.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh shit. God damn it.
oh my god.
And I love that, Ryan. I just tell you there's a poll, but I don't tell you what it is.
Wait, Fart Vader, aren't you also String Flame? Are you talking to yourself in chat? So confused.
Okay, we don't get meta here.
Never mind.
What is the poll?
That went into another dimension. I apologize. You're right.
Sheep swallop. It's something about sheep swallop, Ryan.
Okay, we don't.
What's better, sheep swallop or bloody buttered onions? That's cursed.
Okay.
They go to the Rod. They follow the place. Apparently, Matt had been to this place just yesterday. He followed a woman. He saw some footprints in the dust, but didn't really super explore. It's a building with 6 stories, but they're back. Elaine's like, "Hey, look, 6 stories," and Nynaeve's like, "What do you know? It's fucking 6 stories."
Brother, real quick, sheep swallop or bloody what?
6 stories. What do you
Bloody onions.
Bloody buttered onions.
Bloody buttered onions.
Okay.
Something.
Okay.
Something can't you something?
That's
just
cursed.
I can't say. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all live. It's live.
Anyways, yeah. Mhm.
What's better, sheep swallop or bloody buttered onions?
I would rather have bloody buttered onion.
The votes are coming in. Jesus Christ.
What's better? I like that.
I
better.
have blood any day over sputum.
What's better, right? Yeah.
I'm picking sheep swallop.
Nope. No, thank
well,
That's a
you.
good. That's a good phrase.
It's not. It's losing.
Bloody butter, anyways. Butter will cut the.
Sheep
the
swallop could be a band.
Put
Can I
butter
just
in it, it'll be fine.
I hate K-size jacket.
Yeah, he hates this jacket.
I famously
Wait,
hate
the
this jacket. I think it's the worst jacket.
The Gleeman cloak?
No, Josh
This jacket I left in Josh's van for like a year.
Van, like he had,
And it was your greatest year of your life, Ryan?
You looked at a year
And
ago.
He
Yeah.
brought it back to me like a year later because I didn't see him, and I was like, I'll just send you a FedEx package, which I didn't do because ADHD, and I don't remember that.
we all hate it.
Then
Okay, I have your shoes. I have like
yeah, you got my boots now. It'll be
I got
next
your
week
boots.
when I see those.
Passing it around.
Right. Anyway, Ryan hates this jacket, that's why I wore it. So you're welcome.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm,
show some
doing,
autonomy. I like
I'm
it.
doing well.
By the way, guys, there's 16 of you here. I love every 16 of you. Thank
Me
you for
too.
joining us each and every week.
Yes.
Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and tell a friend we're here. We haven't even got to the finale, so there's still time. Thanks for joining us, guys.
We've got this much left.
We got this much left.
Let's
So
go.
they get to they go into the place. They're like, all right, cool. Elaine goes up with a couple people to go find the Bowl of the Winds. And
Wait,
huh?
No, go ahead.
And in walks a couple Black Aja Aes Sedai, Ibsen.
Okay, so you did pass this by.
So
Maybe Mogideon likes back doors.
I did underline that, but I didn't read it. And it says maybe
Backdoor.
Mogideon likes back doors. He said dryly. Right? Yikes. That turns it a little, I don't know.
Dryly?
head.
Oh, brother Dan.
What?
That's some anime shit.
He asked dryly.
Jesus.
Mm.
So
I swear you would love hentai.
Hentai? I like magic porn.
my. Oh
Why? Yeah, magic porn's cool. They get to the building. They go in. Boom. In
Wait,
comes
okay, there's-
Ibsen Italian.
There's
They're like,
one.
"Hey." Oh, go ahead.
Bulky fellows with heavy shoulders, clubs and knives in hand. Or sorry, behind them, bulky fellows with heavy shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That works. That works for me.
Yeah. I was like, what's happening?
The clubs and knives and hands. I was like, what? Josh, you're cute.
I've seen some like German independent films, but
Where's Dovie, by the way, tonight?
I was asked. I just texted
I'm so
her,
bummed.
to be honest.
Text
I
that
just
lady.
texted
Yeah.
her. I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fucking seriously?
Seriously, like yeah.
Are
Right?
you serious right now?"
So Matt, what's funny is Matt wants to go upstairs with Elaine, but Lan and Nynaeve are having a moment,
Okay,
like
so
right in front of them.
It's so dumb. Go on.
Oh,
one
Go,
thing
Josh.
I wondered is so the Black Aja probably assumed that Nynaeve is under the 3 oaths.
Yes.
Sure.
yeah.
But
No, I would say no because they know that she is Rebel Aes Sedai. She was raised.
They've
She
taken
was
the
raised in
higher
Solomon.
oath that they consider the higher like thing.
Do they know any of that? Yeah, I guess maybe not.
Yeah, I
Do
don't
you
know.
even know she's an Aes Sedai?
Conflict between, like, the red one talks about the conflict between her being a red and what that entails. However, the black Aja promises that she had made always override whatever red Aja thing she had made. So she has also, conflict happening between how she needs to carry out these Black Aja promises, but she has these Red Aja feelings. So, like, it's conflicting sometimes, and she always has to side with the Black Aja piece first. So I think there's a difference between the oaths.
Well, we know that the Oath Rod is in Tarvalon. And these two women, when they come in, they say, quote, Ibsen and I come from the White Tower, while Nynaeve and her friends are rebels against the Amarylline Sea. They'll be punished severely for that, and so will anyone who helps them.
That's subterfuge.
And it says, you don't want to meddle in Aes Sedai affairs, go on your way, kind of thing.
Right.
And Lan's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to body slam off the top rope. Blah! Superfly Snuka. Blah! Lays them both out.
You're like a human bowling. He got a split.
He's all, lost my hat.
It's all good.
Yeah, so I do think that these two Aes Sedai know that Nynaeve claims to be Aes Sedai, and is using that against them. In my opinion.
Oh no! I have an announcement. Actually, Dovie is in an emergency situation, so a friend of hers is in the hospital, so she's on her way there now, and
Okay.
she's gonna let us know how it's going. So
Okay. Well, big love to her and her friends. I'm sorry.
yes, yeah.
The Black
Mogi
Aja
was
has
there,
been
but-
with Nynaeve since she was an accepted chasing them, and Mogi was with her when she was raised without the oath rod, so the knowledge is out there. I
But
agree.
Mogi's kind of cut off from everybody, right? Is she talking to other Dark Friends? I don't know. Or other Black Aja? Not anymore, right? I don't think she's reappeared to the 13 Aes Sedai that she was running, right? Most likely. Hard to say. We haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
So.
Right on. So as soon as yes, no Garden, as soon as Lan body slams, quote, that opens the sluice gates wide, which I think is a drinking obligation.
Yes.
Noman Garden, good job.
For a moment, his smile looked rapturous.
Who's that?
If
Is
that's
that a
your
drinking
thing.
obligation?
Yeah.
Yes.
If that's your kink.
Okay. Rapturous smiles? Okay.
For a moment, his smile looked ellipsis rapturous. I mean, it's definitely.
Josh finds it hot, so we're going with it, okay, Dan?
Yeah, further Dan. Like, yeah.
I think he let her drop in a boneless heap is sexier
Yeah.
than that.
I think if Josh can get off from a really intense game of Jenga, but like we're gonna
We're
go
not
with it,
gonna
right?
I don't know.
We're not judge. Okay? We're not
Gingerly Matt fingered the medallion.
Right? There we go.
All right. So so the two Black Aja come in with about 24 dudes with knives and gloves in their hands behind her. Shit starts going down. I did a drinking obligation here. Quote, grunting men struggled with them face to face.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
No, so this got intense. So at first they're like, I'm shielded. So Rand's like, no, fuck that. He body slams them. And then all of a sudden it's like she was taking on two people.
And the wise ones are like watching with their eyes super wide, just like
Yeah,
looking all the power.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? But like she was like, hey,
Are they, or are they astounded because there's so much one power being flung by Nynaeve?
I think it's culturally they can't handle. Well, okay, well, I don't want to answer that. What do you think? Sorry.
How much one power?
Well
thing?
done, Ryan.
You see that?
Oh.
Self-control.
What do you think, Kim?
I disagree with what you started to say. I'm gonna put it that way.
Yeah. You know, I have a heart-shaped tongue.
Me too.
Hey,
Funny that 84% of our chat voted for bloody onions.
All right, well, you're right. You know what? Because I hate every one of them.
Sheep swallop is such a
I'm
cool
not-
phrase. Sheep swallop. If you hit your thumb with a
People
hammer,
also like this jacket, aren't they? Thank you
you
so
hit
much.
your thumb with a hammer. What's a better thing? Sheep swallop or
All right,
bloody buttered onions.
Mm.
Sheep swallop just rolls off the tongue like motherfucker.
That
Sheep
sounds
swallop
like
is like motherfucker, I think.
I don't like it. Dovie!
Sheep swallop.
We
Dove.
love you, Dovie. We love you, Dovie.
Yeah, it's a good question, Dana. I was assuming no because she's like under the thumb of the Watcher, Moradin. But yeah, maybe she's back to all of her old tricks also. I mean, the fact that the Golem is here with them does indicate there's some connection to the Forsaken. So who organized this, if not Mogideon? Under Moradin's direction. Who did you think organized this, Kay?
I don't know. I'm mostly showing off my jacket right now, Josh, because Ryan put up a poll in chat about who likes my jacket. So I'm mostly worried about how
I see.
people like my jacket in
Yeah.
chat at the moment. What was your question again?
Who do you think organized the attack on them while getting the bowl. If not, Mogideon having stopped by the Black Aja to organize, them attacking with the Golem. I was just saying the Golem implies that the Forsaken were involved.
Let me say this quote though before you answer. It says, quote, with a knife sticking out of his side, he smiled. He wants you dead as much as he wants her, he said softly. And as if Matt was not holding him at all, his hands moved towards Matt's head, driving Matt's arms back. So it does not say.
So either Moradin, it either has to be either Moradin or the Great Lord, or
I thought it was the Great
Samael.
Lord the entire
Or
time.
Samael.
To be honest, I read this and thought automatically that it was just the Dark One himself, and that's the one that's transforming into the snake figure that can slither through like little cracks of the door, and that's who I thought that was the entire time.
So I thought that too until I got to the end where Moradin saves Rand and is like, the Great Lord has other plans for you.
Well, fuck, Josh, man.
So I don't know. I mean, I hear you, but also, and I read it that way at first until I got to the end of the book, and I was like, oh.
I didn't catch that part. So he says that. Where does he say that?
Moradin
Would
says
we refer to Shadar Haran as a he?
Shadar Haran is a they, probably. But
So would the Golem have said he wants you dead if it was referring to?
I don't think it would. Yeah, I don't think it would necessarily be Shadar Haran. It would either be the Great Lord or one of the two male Forsaken who are still alive. Well, I guess there's other male Forsaken who are now alive in women's bodies, but that's a different story.
All right, so Matt says that he thinks that he had heard from Diljeet
Right
that
now, there's so much happening in these last chapters. To be honest, this is
Yeah,
the
there's a lot.
craziest thing ever. There's so much. I listened and listened again. And now I'm feeling confused all over again. But there's only because there's so many things to keep track of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way at all? Because I'm not the only one that feels that way at this point in the books, right?
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on for sure.
Matt believes that this is a Golem. Do you guys agree with him?
Yeah.
Okay. He also says that it may have been hiding out in a stasis box or it been stored.
And that's what made me think. We know that I think it was a Shamael who had the stasis boxes. We learned which of the male Forsaken had the stasis boxes.
I think
earlier in the
Samuel
series.
had one, right? Didn't
At least one.
Yeah.
Because one of the female Forsaken goes and is like, "Oh, you have one of those that's working,"
Mhm.
and then he like brags about it more. Yeah, Samael. Okay, that was Samael. Thank you, Dana.
I like
So
to
that's
think of the stasis boxes as being like geocaching, like
Kind
you
of.
gotta-
Well, or it's inside whatever we saw. What was the thing called that Mogideon was inside of?
Mind trap.
No, the thing that's out of time and out of the pattern.
Oh.
That pustule, that bubble
Yeah, the bubble.
of time or something. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Grendel got straights from a stasis box, right? But hers was damaged, and I think it was Grendel and Samael interacting, and
The
Samael
vacuole?
brags about the vacuole. Right.
Vacuole.
So does a stasis box have a vacuole inside of it?
Oh shit. What? Yeah, is the stasis box kind of like a bag of holding?
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
In D&D terms, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if a bag of holding suspends time, though.
I don't
If
either.
you put a fruit inside of a bag of holding, it ages, right?
That's a
Does
good
it?
point. I think so.
It's a very good question. I don't know.
All right, we need our D&D
I tried to put a kid in a bag of holding, and they said he would die in 10 minutes because he couldn't breathe. So I didn't put him in.
No.
It does not suspend time then, because if it just froze time, the kid would just.
Well, I just wanted to put the kid in the bag so he wouldn't be in the way. I don't know. It was it was a thing. D&D's fun. So Matt is fighting this golem. He goes upstairs.
His necklace burns it.
His necklace burns it, and so he starts swinging it like, like rosary beads or something.
Yeah. But
doesn't he catch the blade out of thin air though?
Yeah, a knife. He catches the knife out of the air. Sure.
That happens, but also but let's talk about Matt. He's like, I made a promise, and he said the first step was the hardest, and then he puts his life on the line.
Is
right?
The most amazing character ever written.
Right.
He really is. You've said it before, Ryan, and I completely agree with you. I cannot. What this? The strength to persevere over and triumph over things is so profound in this character, and it's so great. He's nothing but gumption. He doesn't have any fucking logic.
Yes.
He doesn't have anything else. He's just pure gumption, and it's so good. He's so great. It's just so much fun to read. I'm bored with Perrin chapters, to be honest, and I know a lot of people love Perrin, but for me, I love Matt. He's so good. So I'm worried that because these were such Matt heavy chapters that we're not gonna, in such a Matt heavy book, we're not gonna get as much Matt in the next book. That's just a worry of mine.
Ooh, hot take.
Story of my life.
Take. Yeah.
That's why it's that's why everyone hates it, because
it feels like he
Matt.
goes in waves, we get a flood of Perrin and Fail, and it's just heavy. And then we go, woo, yay, Matt. And it's so entertaining. And anyways.
All right, so this gets me wondering. So how much of this is Matt versus how much of this is the memories in his head and the other people that are imposing on him? And how different would he be if he had never held the dagger and been healed? How different would he be if he isn't TAVERN and therefore sort of forced potentially to act in a particular way in a certain situation to perpetuate a story or
I think
an outcome for the pattern. So is it Matt, or is Matt still a piece of shit like he was back in the Two Rivers? Is he a different person, and why?
Well,
and what mechanism?
Well, I mean, he's gone through several life threatening events. He's overcome and he's led a battle. There's several things that have happened, but
the battle stuff is all from the memories in his head.
But he still participated and still experienced in real time that sort of shit. I mean, to Ryan's point,
but if he had not touched the dagger and not been healed and not had the memories injected into his head by the aliens, would he wouldn't be the character he is now.
Would he be friends with Brigitte? Would Brigitte have opened up to him if he didn't know Old Tongue, right?
Probably not.
And if Brigitte didn't open up to him, he wouldn't know
about the name of the spear, or Malkier, or
the golem,
or the golem.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We do learn some about the golem when he's addressing the sea folk. The golem, apparently the one power doesn't affect it at all. It was built or designed or I don't know, constructed to kill Aes Sedai. That was its only fucking, it's a tool to do that.
Oh,
Guys, so let me just ask on a separate level. This thing is a snake-like being. Matt has seen snake-like creatures. Is there any connection that you see at all between a golem and the snakes that he had talked with?
yep. The elfin.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, Josh had shoved that up your fucking porthole.
I mean, I didn't. And it doesn't remind me of it because
Okay.
it moves more like fluidly than the aliens.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, no offense, Sam, but no.
Yeah.
The
No,
weird thing
it's
is
okay.
you're asking about that right now because it did remind me of that. I thought about the elfin and the elfin, and I thought about the fact that it's a snake reference and like the snake, the fox and snakes. The game of, the game.
Snakes and
foxes. Yeah.
I'm talking about the game.
Snakes and foxes.
Yeah. So
Matt also says
all that, but I don't know why. I just
Well, that's what it reminded me of. That's what the quote reminded me of. That he feels like he's in a game of snakes and foxes.
Matt also says at one point that he would rather put a rabid fox in his coat.
He does. Yeah, I underlined that one too. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So yeah, they win. They get out. Matt,
He does remember. He has the dice rolling this whole time,
Yeah.
like he's in the game.
What did that mean to you? Like,
why?
Around in his head constantly, but I couldn't figure out what the fuck does that mean?
That there are a lot. I read it to be that there are just a lot of shifting parts that could lead to different outcomes.
Do you think it's like his memories come back during that time? Because that was the only correlation that I could kind of see between the dice rolling. I couldn't. There was nothing. There were like no two scenes that were. I don't know. That were like there at the same time that he was having like the dice rolling around in his head, or although maybe possibly the scenes that he's remembering past stuff and trying to correlate and cohesify those memories together with his current brain. Does that make any sense?
What does Matt's dice rolling mean to you? How do you read it as a symbol or as a representation?
Well, I don't know. It's changed over time because I thought it was like his luck was becoming more enhanced, when he heard the dice rolling around at first, and then now it feels more like maybe like I can't figure out what it is. That's why I'm asking you. I can't figure out what it is. I don't know what it means anymore. I'm trying to figure it out, but it more so like the only thing that I can see really like being something that fits together are like the past memories and the current memories coming together during times when the dice seem to be rolling around in his head. And I can't figure out anything else that I don't know.
Do you think it could be related to the pattern?
Sure, yeah, because
it's uncertainty. I don't know. I guess I've always read it as kind of like
a lot of times too. Maybe it's just the TAVERN-ness for him.
Yeah, it could be TAVERN-ness. Could be, or it could be that the pattern is uncertain about the outcome. At work.
Yeah, so it's like up in the air at that point because it depends on the choice that he makes.
Well,
interesting also how he ended up feeling towards the end. I don't know if we're there yet, but like he starts feeling like he's really in charge, like he has to be like he's responsible, and that's not a feeling that he's used to, right? Like he refers
Yes.
refers to like Matt's not used to feeling responsible,
Right.
but he just starts acting responsible as well. He just slides right into the part, and that's right around the time that I believe the dice are also rolling around in his head. So it was interesting. I think it maybe more relates to his past than it does to
nice. Yeah.
Alice at this point. I don't know.
Yeah. Well
Pass.
said.
To your point, Josh, it seems like when you hear this, so of the 3 TAVERN, the dice seem to add the most random aspect of any of the 3. None of Rand and Perrin don't have any of this uncertainty or this this anticipation that the pattern is giving them.
Well, Perrin has the wolf dream, and Rand has Luce Theron. They all have this kind of element of chaos at work in their selfhood. One thing, they're different vectors, but they all have something similar going on. But if this is so let's take the snake and fox imagery to mean that this scene is a phase of the game of snakes and foxes. What does it mean when you roll the dice in that game? And remember, the important thing, what is the important thing about snakes and foxes? You can't win without cheating.
Yeah.
You can't win without cheating.
Right.
So
what does it mean that this particular scene and set of scenes is just, is symbolically wrapped in that metaphor of being a part of the game?
Dice, yeah. Huh. I've never considered the dice to be a part of a Game and Fox's game that's going on with Matt, but I love this a lot. Josh, I think you're onto something, buddy.
I don't know. That's what that brought me to, but
Josh is always onto something. Sorry.
Let's see. So there's a mighty battle upstairs. Bestlin's friend dies. What's his name? Nalcian dies.
The golem escapes out of a window crack.
Say again?
A mouse hole.
The golem escapes out of a window crack.
Yeah, either a window crack or a mouse hole. Yeah.
Mouse hole.
Where is that? I'm sorry. Where are the chapters are
We're right at the end of 38.
Matt corners the golem into the bedroom or a room with a door, and it slams the door, and he breaks it down, and the golem's gone. And he's like, "Oh, the window's cracked, and there's a mouse hole." But those are the only ways out of the room.
Is that in 40?
Yeah, no, it's at the very end of 38.
38.
Oh, jeez.
So he calls him one who moved like a snake and one who got out of rooms like one.
Okay.
It is a little creepy that Matt sees a dead person and says he was never going to admire Melora's bosom again.
Jesus, right? Yep.
That's a hardened dude. He's getting a little calloused.
Who's hardened? you talking about Matt's boner?
James
Harden? Yeah. Daryl Morey is a liar.
Ridiculous. I tell you. Ridiculous.
So the next Matt chapter is called Promises to Keep. It's chapter 39, and it's right after this.
I love
oh, go ahead.
It doesn't even faze him that the golem is gone. He's just like, "Oh yeah,
Oh, fuck. Oh well.
whatever."
I gotta go fix the lane. I gotta go help. Everyone would more or less, if they can get healed, they get healed.
So a golem is like a gray man on crack.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, crack has some benefits. What do you mean?
God, I want crack.
in this particular context?
They do capture one of the two black Aja. What's the name? Phelan got away, but Ispan. She gets captured. Not only do I take whole word like parts out of context, I take words out of context. All right, so I'm cutting up a word and it just says coction down her throat.
Like
right.
Concoction?
Well, I just said coction down her throat.
Just down her throat.
Jesus.
But it said
Josh.
coction.
I get it, Dan.
They're trying to talk to the sea folk. A bunch of sea folk there, and they're like, listen, there was a monster, there's a Forsaken, there's Black Aja. We gotta get out of here. Matt's trying to plead his case. He's like, we gotta leave, man. This is danger zone.
So
Highway Ryan twice?
what did Sumiko do? Did Sumiko create a zombie in this chapter? Does anyone else pick up on this?
What?
Wait, what?
Sumiko like tries to heal someone. The Aes Sedai like, oh, they're dead. And she sits down and like does this thing, and they're like, how did you do that?
All right. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't dead.
They're like, oh, she's beyond my healing. And she sits down and like
followed Nynaeve. So Sumiko ran right to Rianne, and she began to move her hands over Rianne in an odd way. That's what pulled Nynaeve up. What are you doing? She said sharply. Where did you learn that? She said, she'll die if I don't. I know I wasn't supposed to keep trying to, but I wanted to learn. I said, please. She's like, no, go on. You seem to know a few things, even I. That is to say,
I thought they had already looked at her and they were like, oh, she's past what I can do to help.
Rianne. No. It wasn't Rianne. So she bent over Jamiroquai.
Oh.
One touch and she straightened, wincing painfully. She could have told her the woman was dead. Nynaeve seemed to take death personally. So that was Jamina.
Okay.
But Rianne was weeded out, but not. She was, she had like 1 or 0 HP.
Oh shit.
She was unconscious, but not living out. So yeah, Nynaeve hadn't gotten to her yet, but apparently what Sumiko was doing was just different and cooler
So
in different ways.
At the end of last book, we saw one type of healing that had never been done before, and everyone freaked out. At this book, we've now seen 2 types of healing that have never been done before. One being done by a man with Sidene.
Yep.
Are the yellows lame and stop trying to learn new things? Are they just, do they actually suck at healing people with the 1 power?
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Like, why can just these, we've now seen just random ass people like do shit and they're like, oh, we haven't seen that ever.
Right? Yeah, why they all suck? You're right.
I mean, Nynaeve's was a new thing, and so was the Ashaman healing, but a Wilder can,
right? A Wilder, yeah, right.
So maybe it'd just be kind of like, like, are they actually in the dark ages of healing with the 1 power and they don't know it? Or are they all doing things in their own way alongside one another and like where they think the limits are not actually the limits? I don't know.
That's a really good question. And Nynaeve almost addresses that here by saying, I suspect you'll find a great many sisters want to learn from you.
Right.
Very
I
threatening.
think what we're seeing here is that the more that the White Tower is being introduced to other things. They realize that they did not have the monopoly on talent or knowledge, perhaps. Even the kin, which weren't good enough. So this is like, all right, this is a JV player doing better than a varsity player, kind of.
Right. A lot of these.
Yep. Yeah.
So Matt is talking to the yeah, we gotta get through this, man. It's already so Matt's talking to the sea folk. He busts out some Taverness. He's like, listen, I gotta bully these people. He busts out like some of his old knowledge, man, to learn how to insult them.
Right? Yeah.
He said he called someone a daughter of the sand, and that was like, oh my god, you called her a daughter of the sand?
Yeah.
And then later he says, you listen to me, you bilge stone. And people are like, oh shit. When he said daughter of the sand, he almost got stabbed. She was like, fuck you, how dare you?
Right? Yep.
But that shit worked. He's like, you're gonna agree to do whatever they say. And she says, she says, quote, it is agreed under the light. She growled. Her eyes nearly stared out of her head. Her mouth worked. Confusion and disbelief suddenly chasing one another across her face. And then she says, I think I've just made a bargain with the TAVERN, she says. She's like, damn it. And Matt's like, you got it, baby. That's how it works. Boom. Listen to them. All right, we're cool. So we're going to go. We're going to go to the farm. We're not going to go to... we're going to stay close to the water. I know you guys are freaky. We'll just go to a farm a couple miles away. No big deal. They're like, good idea, good idea. This is what Nynaeve and Elaine had planned all along. It's crafty.
What do you make of Aes Sedai still holding to their quote, I will not abandon salt for a book Aes Sedai do not know?
Yeah, what?
I mean, it's like in the face of everything they've seen, they're still like holding firm to this idea that they know everything. It's a little cringe.
Well, I think that was the sea folk that was saying that, correct? Because Matt's like, I read a book one time, and they're like,
this was an Aes Sedai, I think, right?
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Let me see. I read a book that talked about he began, and Roniel cut him off. So that's the sea folk. A book, she sneered. I will not abandon the salt for a book Aes Sedai do not know. And then he's like, well, I gotta change my shit around.
Yeah, right.
I'm the only dude here. I gotta be dude. I gotta John Wayne this shit. So yeah, that was the sea folk that had said it. So maybe if the Aes Sedai had said it, it would have had more weight. I don't know.
Oh, it's Muriel and Roniel. Okay, I can see why I got them confused.
Yeah. Get used to it, buddy.
Muriel Sedai. So it's the mistress of waves and let's see. Oh yeah, Roniel, Kalan, Blue Star. Okay. Oh, and there's Reno too.
He pulls out all the knowledge. He's like, as far as you're concerned, I'm the master of the blades, and my blades are bare. They're like, whoa. He's pulling out all the shit, and they get sucked into his whirlpool. He's like, done, got it. Let's go to the farm. Let's all go to the lobby.
He sends the bowl off on its way.
Yeah, because Ulver's gone.
And Ulver's gone. We get the Ulver finding mission.
He's all fucking over. Everyone's like, no, we'll wait. And he's like, nope, you split. I'll find over. Run all over. Let's see. And then he sees that the Shanchin are showing up. Bunch of Shanchin. Bunch of flying creatures. Bunch of people on leashes. Bunch of all kinds of things. They're coming in right now.
Very aggressive.
They're really aggressive. Yeah. Yeah. That's Shanchin. They're there. Anything about this chapter and Matt or any about this that I missed before we jump into the final 2 chapters?
And this is the last we hear of Matt, as he's under some rubble.
Yeah, he gets kind of a little avalanche of a wall of brick.
So Matt's dead?
I think
like
so.
Moiraine?
Oh, let's see.
So fucking stupid. So fucking stupid.
Why would he have so many books with no Moiraine if she's not dead? I'm just saying. I mean, characters die. You knucklehead.
She's not dead. Matt's not dead.
Matt
could be dead right now.
Yeah, if Matt had a warder.
Literally, the last sentence is "stop dead." Ends in "stop dead." He's trying to imply he's dead.
Just stop dead. Stop dead.
The dice in his head stop dead.
What did I say? The dice? The dead? So yeah, Matt is, but it shows that the Shanchin are back. Yes, he's back.
Well, we already knew that because they already attacked where Morghese was. So.
Correct. But it's a different place. Chapter 40 is called Spears, and this is a chapter with like 4 or 5 different POVs. This is a pretty active chapter. This starts with a POV of Galena. Galena was the head of the Red Aja and Aes Sedai for a long time, 90 plus years.
90 plus years.
Also Black Aja for 85 plus years. She was captured by the Shido and has been getting her shit kicked for the last 9 days. They are running her every time she falls. They beat her. Her hands and elbows are tied behind her. They don't really give her much water. I mean, it's just horrible. She's hating life. Sucks. They call what's her name? The main tormentor name is Thorava. Wait,
Thorava.
Thorava? What is it? I don't see it. Yeah, Thorava. The main character, the main antagonist for her is Thorava. But when they get finally to the IO camp, Savannah calls her Datang. A couple other wise ones did. And she's been named Datang. Hi, Josh. This is kind of intimate. It feels like we're at a speed date.
Sweet date.
Josh, would you be?
Dana says this book has been 9 days long so far. So some time compression going on.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Is it only 9 days?
Yeah.
I know that she was, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Not much, not a whole lot happened. I mean, a lot happened, but we get the time. It like loops a couple of times where we're like, oh, we're back to the day before, and then it's 4 days later twice, and then now it's 9 days later.
Yeah.
I mean, so we know it took 9 days for the information about the loss of the battle at Dumai Wells to get to the White Tower. It's kind of a long time.
Yeah. I mean, do they have pigeons just hanging out, waiting?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. You're probably right. So Galena is told that she's going to be Dastang. She gets a black wool garment,
Right.
and that's pretty much it. It jumps to Savannah. Savannah has a little thing with Savara. Savara's like, she's mine, Savannah.
I intend to dress her in Gaishan robes of silk. For her comfort? Or because she intends to have her in them for so long? She doesn't want them to chafe?
I don't know. Why would it be silk, I guess? Well,
Or
Savannah
she
wants
intends to lavish her attention on her in such a way that it's a symbol for that. I wondered about that.
Yeah, it might be. It might be that's because they generally wear wool, correct?
Oh.
She says she wants to tame Aes Sedai, so maybe the first Aes Sedai in white silk or in white, kind of like that would.
And Aes Sedai in black will do well enough, though. Yeah, so Datsang belonged to no one.
Mm-hmm. Right. They were, wait, what was the term? It was Datsang, despised one.
Despised one.
There is quite a few drinking obligations in this POV, guys. Because while Savannah's talking about, she's like, God, we need to make this bitch obey. And someone says, did you say obey? You want to make her obey? And this dude named Kadar pops up with his friend. His friend's name is Macia. It's a nice guy. And he shows up. All right, so, quote, Kadar held out a smooth white rod. Then next, quote, she snatched the white rod he offered.
Mm-hmm.
Later, a little slimmer than her wrist, the rod was smooth. Quote, Savannah clamped her hands tight around the rod. We go on. Riel frowned at the rod. Quote, Savannah's fingers touched the rod lightly.
More glass than ivory and very cool. It only works on women.
It only works on women? Yeah.
She ducked into the tent ahead of him. I mean, it's just like, come on, fucking Jesus.
So I'm going to say that's 2 healthy drinks. Slanja, boys. And Kay, come back. Kay, come back. I'm just on the fool. You see, I was wrong. Kay, come back. All right. So he gives her the rod. He's like, hey.
How is it that Savannah doesn't wonder who the fuck he is when he's like, oh, yeah, I can get you. I know about stuff from before the breaking. Let me see if one still exists.
Yeah, let me find one.
Guy's
like the pawn shop owner.
Exactly. Well, no, he's more like an antique shop owner.
He's like, I know a guy.
Like relic black market antiquities relic dealer sort of shit. Technology relics, but.
Oh, here's another good drinking obligation, guys. Quote.
Oh, Noman Garden.
Now I'm gonna top you, Noman Garden. Quote. Came into my hands yesterday.
I really want to know what slaw bass music is.
Slaw bass.
I hope it's actually slow, but
I
want slaw. Yeah.
Give me the slaw and the grime.
A is so far from O on the keyboard, it must be slaw.
The womp. Is slaw bass wompy? I wonder.
So this guy has a big bag of shit. He's like, hey, you want something else? He's like, here, take this. Here's a traveling box. They talk about a binding chair.
Savannah eyes Grendel's bosom sideways and then undoes a lace of her own blouse.
Right? And she kind of was like
at every level.
Yep.
She also is like, she wants to kind of take her away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But Kadar drew out a gray stone cube.
Okay, so these are all fake? The Narbaha. I mean, it's like, it turns out that it's just him channeling the whole time. I mean, we'll get to that, I guess, but...
Is that how you read it? That he was making all the gateways?
Yeah, that they're not really magical, that they're just magical placeholders or, placebo devices to like trick them into being manipulated.
Well, Merrick was fooled. He is the POV of the Aiel who was with his wife and his kids were there near the back. He was like, this box is supposed it shut early. I guess we'll wait here for 3 days. I don't know. But so they cut off. So what does Savannah do here? Savannah keeps most of the wise ones to herself.
Mm-hmm.
And they send. Was it Savannah who sent the Shido these ways, or was it this wetlander Kadar, who turns out to be whoever, Samuel?
I think Samael basically like separated the wise ones from the Algai de Swai.
Did Savannah know this was going to happen? Did she anticipate that this was the
I don't
plan?
think she knew that it was a deception.
Okay.
But we get this bit about, Shadar Haran, like, evaluating the chaos quotient that, his actions here created, basically. Like, did Demandred, or did not Demandred, this wise one, this Forsaken, what's his name?
Samuel?
Samael, yeah.
Yep, Samuel. Yep.
Right. Are Samael's behaviors here chaos, Lord of Chaos enough that they match the Dark One, the Great Lord's plan, right?
Right. We see both Grendel and Shadar Haran kind of evaluating what Samael's doing.
Right.
Shadar Haran is pretty much saying, all right, this is this...
We already know that a Shamael has been raised to the Nameless, right? Or basically, I mean, Moradin appears to be the Nameless, I would say. He's got the fucking things around his neck of other Forsaken. Like, is he actually the top of the pile, or is this another thing where the Dark One's playing them off one another to take more power for themselves? Feels weird using a male pronoun for the Great Lord when we don't know the sex of the creator, but
okay. I do have a quote. Soft, but like something that would grow harder.
Sure. Wash the spear.
Go ahead.
Wash the spear. I mean,
Well, all right, Josh. I rise and fall with you.
nice.
We learned that Shaidar Haran kind of almost has like an Ogier type pull
Mm-hmm.
to Shadow Logod, or Shio Ghul rather.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Did you like hearing about like all these old Age of Legends shit?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It makes me wish that we had books that were set in the Age of Legends
Yeah.
instead
No,
of
that's a good point.
the sort of dark ages that we're in now, where everything's just kind of a sad reflection of its high point of science fiction society.
Yeah. If you met Josh, he would be like, I only read Age of Legends fiction. Sorry.
I only, yeah. AOL. Let's jump into the final chapter.
Final chapter.
What does it mean? What is this? I was curious about the symbol of the spear.
Yeah,
Shaidar Haran like picks up the discarded spear,
right, yeah, and just burns it.
vaporizes it basically, like, and its head pops off.
Yeah, and Rand is carrying a spear from the Shanshans.
Right, and Matt is carrying a spear whose name we learn. I mean, I assume the way I read it, it was a symbol of Samael and Grendel as spears of the Dark One, enacting its plan, and like Shaidar Haran evaluating them as having failed. But I wish Kay was here to get her take on it. But that was how I read it, that like him vaporizing it was like, oh, this spear, the actions of the spear that I'm watching now are a failure. He does question it at the end. If Samael served chaos, then all was well. If not, but that's literally the end of the paragraph where he vaporizes it. The byproduct of the actual chaos that was wrought, right, is the spear, and he like turns it to dust in his hand and evaluates. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean that Shaidar Haran wants the tie to Shao Ghul to be severed. We've never heard of a Myrddraal thinking of themselves as an identity. They're servants, not like things with their own motivations, and like it sounds like Shaidar Haran has a plan that isn't in line with his programming.
Right. That tie had to be severed somehow. It certainly suggests some dissatisfaction and ambition.
The day was coming, it would come. I mean, other than being a drinking obligation, what does he mean there? What does it mean? What is the day for Shaidar Haran?
Well, this
is it the day of the Great Lord's. So, you know, is it the day the tie is cut, or is it the day that they celebrate the Great Lord's victory? Is it the day he crushes Samael?
Right, we have somewhat of a parallel though, because the book ends with a storm. Quote, "The storm is coming," they said, staring southward and worried. The storm is coming. So the day was coming. It would come. There is a parallel there.
Sort of, but the storm. But okay.
Well, what's the storm?
What is the storm? The Aes Sedai are literally about to release the storm, a weather system by using the bowl of the three of the winds. Nynaeve has felt the storm on the horizon, and she's questioned whether or not it's an actual weather system or not that she can't see. And if so, is the Great Lord using his powers to control the weather, or is it something different? What's going to happen when they use the bowl? What is the storm, metaphorical or literal?
That's the question, I guess.
Or both, right?
Yeah.
Or is this Shan-Chan invading again?
The Shan-Chan are invading again. It's true. Yep. And Rand has just taken the kingship of Ilion and is called now King of the World. And he's like, oh, I like the sound of that.
Right, yeah, big boners, yeah, for that.
It's like,
yeah.
thank you, Mass Man.
So there's a lot going on, as Kay said, for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into Rand's chapter. It's the final chapter. It's called A Crown of Swords. It's the eponymous, the titular. No, eponymous.
No, titular.
Titular? No, eponymous is named after. Titular is...
The thing of the title.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I think... I thought Rand would be the titular Crown of Thorns. While this chapter is...
Eponymous versus titular. Yeah. Eponymous gives the name to the title. So, okay.
There we go.
Titular means the title gives its name to something within. So it's both. It's a titular chapter in that it is the title gives the name to something within it, the chapter, the crown of thorns itself, the object, and it's eponymous, not eponymous.
See, I would think like you would be the titular Grok. Grok.
No.
Grok. Like, right? And, like the Josh Grok, like you would be the titular, like the Grok, like.
The title
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
The title giving its name to something within means giving its name. If the title of the book is the Crown of Swords, and we get the Crown of Swords as an object that is named the thing that is the title, it's also titular.
Okay, like I thought if it was Jesus of Nazareth, that would be eponymous. If it was the Messiah, that would be titular.
If the name of the Bible was Messiah, it would be titular.
No, if it's talking about the... anyways, it doesn't matter. Crown of Swords, chapter 41. Starts right off with a drinking obligation, right off the fucking back. Tossing Rand dreamed wild dreams. Tossing?
What?
Tossing Rand dreamed wild? No? All right, never mind. Rand is recovering from his wounds. Patton Fane stabbed him, as you remember. He wakes up and he's in a room full of people. He's naked, doesn't care, gets up, gets dressed, chases everyone out, except for Min. He's like, Min, you can see my balls. Everyone, go. He's like, all right, let's do this thing. It's time for me to kill a Forsaken. Guys, want to kill a Forsaken? He gets a couple of his Ashaman. He's like, Dashiva, you feel like killing Flynn? He's like, sure, yeah, let's do it.
Dashiva's surprised, right?
Dashiva's always like, what?
Dashiva's as powerful as Rand, though. I think that's important to note.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Matt, so keep in mind, Rand is the only one of the Ashaman who have not trained under Mazrim Taim. Is he actually at a loss in that exchange?
Ooh, what? Nice. Okay, yeah.
I wonder.
Nice.
That's a great question.
Great questions. Yeah.
I got 2 drinking obligations real fast. Quote, before we more than started, Samuel came. All right. That works?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
the second one,
right?
quote, Fedwin comes every night just like he's supposed to.
Jesus.
I don't know. they like, all right, fine. He goes and gets they travel to Andor. They get all their people, Bashir, the bunch of other people. They're like, cool, we're out. They travel to Ilion, right into the middle of the Tammuz Square or something. Was it Tammuz?
Tammuz?
Yeah. The Square of Tammuz. Sorry.
Ooh. Yeah.
Everyone jumps out. A bunch of Saldans, a bunch of people are just like taking over Alien. Rand channels a little bit away, and there is he's looking for Samuel. He goes up to the top of the fucking.
I'm a little disappointed we didn't see the battle here between the White Cloaks and the Prophet in this book. Because that, in theory, is also going on right now, too, over these 9 days. I mean, we hear that they've gone off at least to do the battle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Do we know that it has actually occurred during this time period?
Yeah, we don't. We don't.
Okay.
But we learned before What's-His-Fuck dies that he sent them off to do that, which was at the beginning of the book 9 days ago when we were with Morghese the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess it could take them longer than 9 days to march, but
yeah. Well, that's, it's anticipation for next book. I know you love the White Cloak so much. I want to build your anticipation.
So I wondered, was Lews Therin a training opportunity for Rand to offset his identity during these moments of extremity that he endures during these battles? The phrase "someone else's body, someone else's blah" are used so much through this chapter, right? Where he's offloading the real consequences of his actions to his physical being onto an alternate false sense of selfhood while he's in the void, and then like coming to in that sense of identity and like paying the price over and over again as he like fades in and out.
Jesus, this
isn't the first time we've heard this about the void, though. With Rand, he said, that's
what I'm saying. It's like he's been trained by having other selfhoods inside of him, and he just gained another. I mean, my hot take from the end of this book is he gained another one at the end of this book when their bail files, when his and Moradin's bail files crossed.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah.
Him and Moradin are now connected.
So that was hold on. So that was Moradin.
Yeah, that was Moradin. That was the Watcher, Moradin.
Okay.
Ishamael is my theory.
Why did he save him? Because the Dark One told him to?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because he needs Rand at the end of time to...
But the Dark Lord is the Lord of the Grave. If Rand dies, why is that such a big deal for him?
Because he won't be the Dragon Reborn anymore.
There it is.
He'll have to start over.
And there it is.
Who would start over, though? The Dark One wouldn't, right?
The Dragon Reborn would start over, or the end of this age would come without one.
Yeah. So let's fast forward. He's fighting Samael. Samael jumps to Shadow Ghoul.
I'm gonna go with Eric's Bear, yes.
All right, I'm sorry, Shadow Logoth, rather. He's been trained. Sure, for you, Iris Bear, it is. I think this is the first time you suggested one, and I will not say no.
I mean, what happens with Mashadar and Balefire is a whole question. why does Rand not shoot the balefire at the end when he realizes that Samael's been subsumed? What does it mean that their balefire, that Moradin and his balefire is crossed?
Who is the guy that helped him?
Moradin,
Okay.
the Samael, reincarnated, presumably.
Why do we think that?
Yes, puppet memory does suck, Iris Bear.
Come on. What? Iris who?
Wow.
Yep. So yeah, there is this balefire moment. Rand is dangling. He gets saved by this watcher who says, "Not now, son. This will fuck everything up. You got to stay alive. You want to kill Sam? He knows Samael by name.
Yeah.
Think like him, boy. Think like him.
And, I mean, it has to be Moradin because we know Moradin is presumably the only being alive who has unfettered access to the true power. And Rand didn't sense Saidin being used or Saidar when the Bar of Balefire was sent. Therefore, it has to be the true power.
What do you think crossing streams does to Rand?
Especially with not just Saidin, but true power.
I think it connects them. I mean, we see it happen. Like the way it's described, like they soul bond with one another or whatever, right? Like, now, what is the implication of that? Like, how is that going to affect the two of them downstream from where we are in the story? I imagine it's going to be very important. This whole book was basically the reason for that scene.
Oh, Jesus.
Is the way I read it.
Okay.
That was the ultimate scene that this book is about.
Okay.
Is the crossing.
Give us a prediction then.
That Ishamael / Moradin and Rand are now connected in a way that affects them both. Possibly in negative ways.
Like Corsican Brothers?
Kind of. Like
Morgan Puppet Brothers?
Well, all right, Ryan, hit your head.
Brothers, yes. Something about the pattern, like Balefire annihilating Balefire. What does that do?
Right? I feel like that's like other dimensional type shit. Like, where are we going now? Like, this is otherworldly kind of stuff. You know, I mean, there's another thing thrown in here that I don't fully understand.
Grinder profile. Yes.
So Squirrel says Balefire dissipated the pattern. The Balefire was shot at Mashadar. It did not kill it.
Yeah, but it seemed to vaporize the fog where it hit. The fog was no longer there. Mashadar was back in the corner as if it had not.
Yeah, it says even. I guess it even Mashadar avoids Balefire, but it says avoids.
Yeah, but is that just how he read it in the moment, and it actually ran back Mashadar coming out from the wall in the same way that the boat rowers not being there made the boat appear further back in the time slip?
It does feel like it's all just slipping everywhere.
Right. If the other Balefire is true power, does that change things? So, Kay, what I was saying is, I believe that the savior, the watcher who saves Rand, is Moradin. And the reason for that is because when he shoots the Balefire, Rand doesn't sense the one power being used.
Right.
And so it has to be the true power that's being used to send the Balefire.
I love that. Yeah. No, that makes I don't know why, but I also have Moradin as having done that. So I there must be something else that feels like that.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember what it is.
What does it mean that we saw Padden Fane Mashadar out?
What? There's somebody. Do you hear that? It's like smack, smack, smack. Anyways, I'm just.
Oh no.
You continue. Sorry, there's somebody hammering something out here.
No, I don't hear it.
That someone was just
I'm glad you don't hear it.
just
Right?
twerking and smacking cheeks outside.
Smacking cheeks outside.
Smack a smack a smack a smack.
Slap a slap a slap a slap.
But it was not lost on me that Padden Fane used his Mashadar-like ability to attack Rand in 5 chapters ago, and now we see the real Mashadar at the climax. And what is that like? Think how different that relationship is, where now Rand is essentially using Mashadar to his advantage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
By using his knowledge of it to like
But
level
he's
up.
unknowingly using his knowledge, don't you think?
Unknowingly? What do you mean?
Right.
Why?
Like the knowledge. Are you talking about the knowledge that he has, like of the past of the stuff that keeps on? I feel like he's.
I'm not talking about Matt. I'm talking about Rand.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. You're right.
Well, Rand does have loose theron though, so he does have some access to the past.
Also, yes.
But like Rand is like, oh, Mashadar. Like he gets the hint from the Watcher to be like, oh, why don't you use against him something that is something he sees about your strength, something you're connected to. And he realizes like, oh, Mashadar, right?
Uh-huh.
But we just saw Padden Fane attack him with his Mashadar-like powers from being connected to Shao Ghul. Or, wait, no. What is the name of this town?
Shadow Logoth. Eridol.
Eridol. And what is the name of the being that Padden Fane merged with? At least in my theory.
Big boy?
Huh?
I said Bob's big boy. It was dumb.
Bob's
Nice.
big.
That
I
doesn't
love
work.
Bob's Big Boy. They had this pink flamingo.
Mordeth. Thank you, Mordeth.
It was scented. It
Thank
was
you,
like-
Roniel.
Okay, you're to Bob's Big Boy and you get a shake. They give you the shake and they give you the silver thing that has like
The
all the rest of the
schooner.
shake. They're like, you take the
No!
leftovers.
Just like it's steak and shake, man.
You would get the burger and you'd get the shake, but this was on a very special event. Let me tell you what, okay? And then you would get a special toy that came with the shake, which was usually a very clear pen in the 80s anyways. And it was shaped, well, like the one that was my favorite was a flamingo, and it was scented. And it was so much fun. And
I remember those. They were like the thin, very thin pens.
they were so amazing.
Yeah,
And
very
they had
thin.
like this little clear thing.
They're
like,
scented.
like a
They're
flamingo.
not scented.
And well,
The
it
ink
may
was,
have
yeah,
just
they kinda-
been the scent, the smell of the ink, and I'm very sensitive to that kind of thing. So it may have just been the way that the ink.
No, it was on purpose.
But I thought it was scented.
It was.
Okay,
think
good.
you're right.
Cool. Thank you, Dan.
So Rand comes across an old friend here in Shadow Logoth. A maiden of the spear named Leah.
Leah.
Poor Leah. Right. Leah got left behind and has turned somewhat feral.
A little bit.
What do you have thoughts about Leia at all? Rand sure does. He buries that shit in his head and he's like,
I got thoughts.
My bad.
Hi, Josh.
Okay, you have any?
Yeah.
So you go, Josh, please. Go.
Okay, so
Vomit away.
the way she was written, it seemed like she had become Mordeth, too.
Nice.
Okay.
Ooh.
She's basically like, my precious, about Eridol.
Totally, right? Oh, nice.
And she somehow survived, which granted, she's an Aiel badass. But without some sort of connection to the evil of Shadar Logoth, I don't think she would have survived.
Why?
Meaning what?
Meaning escaped from... She can obviously die from Mashadar. Because she fucking does. Or is in the process of. So she somehow lived in Shadar Logoth for months or weeks at least without dying from Mashadar until the moment Rand watches her die, which is a little like, okay, Robert Jordan, like...
Yeah, so did Rand make her die because she got distracted? So she had spent, what, months?
Yes, she suddenly got brought back to the real world instead of just like being in communion with Mordeth / Shadar Logoth, and now she's dying because she's got an external connection to the world.
I don't know how to feel about someone who is like dying a horrible death, but then Rand balefires and it says, something about that she doesn't feel it. Like she had no pain or something. Like,
right. At least she had no pain from. Well, no, he says over and over again that dying from Mashadar is incredibly painful.
Yeah, he said she was gone, dead before her agony began.
Right.
Jesus.
That is weird. Like,
well, remember that Mashadar seems to contain the souls of everyone who's died from it. Well, okay, I'm again conflating the thing inside the ways with Mashadar.
Well, we hear screams.
Yeah, I think they're similar, maybe connected.
Maybe it's just like a piece of everybody, you know, like everyone. It just kind of like mirrors your worst enemy or your worst thoughts or your worst everything. You know what I mean? Like you have to face all the shittiness. Maybe it's just like a little bit of I don't know how to explain that. What I'm trying to say.
Try.
Shin.
I want to.
It's my loyal.
I know.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting scene. They go back to Eridol. This is like one of the first weird places Rand has been, right?
Exactly.
Maybe.
Ryan, pop up Martin Sheen, would you?
Martin Sheen.
So I don't know. This is. I think it's an interesting location that he went to. I like the callback here a lot, personally, and I like your guys' interpretation of what's going on with this. Coming back to Shadow Logoth.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Do you think that Samael is dead?
I think Samael is just another version of Dark One, right?
He's a Forsaken, so I think he is his own person. That he was Lord Brand.
Well, no, I don't think he's dead.
No, go on.
Well, I don't think he's dead. I don't know though. I have no idea. I'm super.
Rand thinks so. Rand certainly thinks so. He threw some balefire around, and he sees that where he was at, suddenly there's all sorts of Mashadar. He's like, he probably fucking died. Yeah, he's probably dead. But we don't actually see about it.
I thought it seemed suspicious, and I'll tell you why. Which is, there's no reason to assume that Moradin didn't use the true power to save him. the way that it's written, where Rand validates it by being like, "Oh, I would have sent Saidin if there had been a gateway," is easily solved by the Watcher using the true power to create the gateway.
Wow.
For him to escape.
Yeah.
So there's an easy solution to why they're not there anymore without them dying.
Do you find that the Watcher has some sort of impetus or advantage to see Samael still alive?
No, I think that in fact we get the opposite. The implication is that he wants Samael to die. But I'm just saying that there is an out there. I'm not saying it's happening. It just made like everything where it's called out explicitly, because the things that actually are not called out explicitly typically seem to be true, but the things that are called out explicitly are often called out explicitly to make you get it wrong.
Right.
That's part of
the way that we see it, Rand,
Josh, so much.
Rand is looking at Samael. He hears, ah! He looks away. He bail fires, and then he comes back, and he bail fires over, and he's not there. There's MaTsDaGgerX. So he's like, "Oh, no way you can live through that. Bye."
Bye. And Rand is sort of delusional, right? Sorry, Kay, go ahead.
No, I just said later, skaters. It was
Later, skaters. Dude, I gotta bail.
Like later, skaters, and that's it. Yeah. What? Bam.
I mean,
go ahead.
If Rand didn't say, "All hail the king of the world," that had a good sound to it, I would be more trusting of his mental state. But the dude is like clearly been dinged around a bit and is like ready to like accept. We see him battling for so long, the acceptance of like the burden of being the Dragon Reborn. And in this book, in the last 25 chapters, we've really seen him like own that burden and like claim it as his own, literally like being like, "I am the Dragon Reborn," over and over again, and to himself and out loud.
Yeah.
So he's clearly gotten to the point where he can convince himself of truths and things, right? So is this him just convincing himself that Samael's dead? Or is it him reading the situation correctly? That he is dead?
Let me remind you of the POV directly before Rand with Shada Haran, who says twice, if Samael served chaos, then all was well. If not, ... kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is Samael, did he serve chaos with this?
Well, that's MaTsDaGger making that evaluation. And is MaTsDaGger's evaluation the same as the Watcher's? If the Watcher is the Nameless, one would assume yes. But does Moridin have another plan that lies outside of that of the other Forsaken? Outside of MaTsDaGger? Is MaTsDaGger motivated for his own self to sever the link and has his own agenda that isn't the Great Lord's? It's like, there's just a fucking lot of unknowns. And yes, I need a spreadsheet. So we don't know. We don't fucking know. And we might not ever know until we ask these questions at the end, like, whatever did happen with that? Like, Robert Jordan's not the best at like closing all of these things off. So
no, he's got a lot of
we should give him credit. We haven't read the end of the series yet, but
let's face it, RJ's got some trauma that has not been dealt with yet. And there are some women that have done him dirty. And I think that there's a lot of reflection about his own life in this particular book.
Right.
And I don't know why I think that, but like it just feels very personal to me. You know what I mean? Do you get that sense? Do you guys get
That's
that
good
sense?
insight.
yeah. Seems like a valid read.
This book ends with with Rand returning to Ilion, more or less being given the laurel crown. He notices that the laurel crown as it's called, has some swords on it. And from here on out, as it's put on his head, it is called the Crown of Swords. It looks like that fulfills some sort of prophecy, which is at the very end, which says, Master of the Lightnings, Rider of the Storm, Wearer of the Crown of Swords, Spinner out of Fate. Who thinks he turns the wheel of time may learn the truth too late.
Spinner out of fate. Yeah,
Spinner out of fate. And it says it's vulgar tongue. I think that's probably because that's a weird phrase. It was called the vulgar tongue circa 300 AB. So
the vulgar tongue is English.
What?
I assume the vulgar tongue is English.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Spinner out of fate? That's hardly hurts my face to say it.
So this book was written in 1996.
Uh-huh.
Was the second
Game of Thrones' first novel was published in 1996, August 1st. Won the 97 Locus Award. And Nebula was nominated for the Nebula. So I was just curious, like, does the Crown of Thorns precede the Game of Thrones and the Throne of Swords? And it does, potentially by a little bit. I also wondered, I mean, this is a very, like, close metaphor for the Crown of Thorns. No one's missing that here, I assume.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Right. I mean,
very forced, like a little like heavy.
Is the Messiah.
Yeah. Again with
Thorns, so if we take that on a metaphorical level, the Crown of Thorns was a shaming thing for this. It's like, oh, you are the God.
The suffering of your fellow man. That Christ wears the suffering of his fellow man intentionally through the Crown of Thorns. Whereas Rand wears the suffering of the world intentionally through going to battle for it. Actually dying at the sword.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Different messianic myth, but
so let's take a brief moment just to go over the entire book. We have Matt's arc, we have Perrin with his Fael, we have Rand, we have Egwene doing what she's doing, becoming Amyrlin. We have Nynaeve has broken her block and gotten married. We've got whose book is this in your mind? Okay, do you who do you associate? Whose character do you associate with this book most?
I mean, a little bit Matt, a little bit Nynaeve, because Nynaeve has such a big shift in this book. But also so does Matt. I don't know.
It's so funny. I think that it's Perrin and Rand's book.
Really? I mean,
we're both entitled to opinion. I think I'll be right.
Have a lot. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it starts with a lot of Perrin and Rand, but it doesn't like the really like profound parts for me were more so about Nynaeve's character shift, and then Matt.
Egwene too, though. Egwene become the Amyrlin.
This is the girls'
Egwene
book
too. You're right.
All six of our heroes.
It's such a big book. I like this book a lot. This one's one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
It really focuses on the main five characters, our five TAVERN.
Yeah.
The two TAVERN women and the three TAVERN men. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
We also do see some wacky TAVERN-ness going on, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever the sea folks see a TAVERN, they can't fucking control themselves.
Now,
they're always agreeing to shit.
One way you could read whose book is this is you could say Loyal because he's writing it.
Well,
yes, Loyal and Baron too. I think is part of that. I think they're co-authors.
Baron wrote the glossary.
Yeah, I love. Yeah. I love that co-authors.
What else about this book do you want to talk about, guys? We made it.
We made it.
We might want to talk about Bella. Somebody mentioned Bella.
What?
Somebody mentioned Bella in the chat. Bella?
They're all Bella's books. I see.
Oh, should I Bera?
Mm-hmm.
Bella.
What? I don't know.
Appropriate. For sure. All right.
This is the way.
We are, guys, this is book 7. We've officially gone through half of the books, more than half of the series. The next book is called The Path of Daggers. It's book 8. And we're going to stay on this pace. We're going to try and do about 80 pages a show, I think. Between 70 and 80 if we can. And whip through it. Is there any predictions? There's a book called The Path of Daggers. What does that make you guys feel? What do you think is going to happen? What's going on?
Moraine lives. Right? Yes, Josh.
Okay. What is in the letter that Maureen gave to Tom? She knew she was going to die.
Right.
What did she give to the letter to Tom?
I assume
she knew literally. She doesn't just know that she was going to die. She saw how she was going to die by killing Lanfear by falling through the Redstone Gateway. She knew that. How did she not fucking prepare so that she can come back from the dead?
She's in another dimension of some kind. I don't think that their world is the same as our world. She falls into that world, and that world is different. It's just different. It's just that's been.
Well, she broke all of the rules. You can't channel in their world.
Slow clap for Moraine for breaking all the rules. Yes.
I'm sure she's suffering horribly. But I bet that she gave Tom instructions for how to save her.
I'm sure they've been through so much, and there's always a plan. There's always
and she wants Tom as her warder.
Yes, and Moraine is so ahead of 5 steps ahead every single time.
So what kind of? I mean, what would they have told her though? I mean, so what question would she have said? How do I mean, I don't even know how you get to the point where it's like, all right, well, you need to tackle Lanfear, go into the thing.
No, this is from Ruidian. No. She learned in Ruidian how she was going to die.
Oh, yeah.
Through the doorway.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so she learned how she was going to die, and she did.
It's possible it came from the aliens, that she figured out the rules of how to ask them the questions. That's another possibility.
Yeah.
But what does someone who's not Aiel see when they go to Ruidian? We don't know that. It could be that they see their future instead of their past.
Min's prediction, her thing didn't come true.
Oh yeah, Min's
didn't come true either. We have so much.
Which we know is the only vision she's ever had that didn't have that happen.
It didn't happen.
Well, she's getting older.
No. No.
She's beyond her prime, as Don Lemon would say.
All right, so we're
is primed to go. I was gonna say something super inappropriate, and that's why you saw me do that. So,
yeah, good catch, good
not
catch.
gonna-
She's always primed.
All right, hey, we're gonna take at least 1 week off, and then we're gonna jump back into book 8. What?
I don't know if I'm available 2 weeks from now.
Oh no!
What? Josh, you're fired. Ryan, find a new cool first time reader.
Find a new Josh. Yeah.
Find a new Josh.
Good fucking luck with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to have read on the 5th. So we might need to start on the 12th.
That's fine.
That's fine, man.
All that is fine.
The team behind me, kind of.
Yeah.
My jacket. Do you see what's
It
I
does
happening?
see
match.
it.
Colors.
I do see it.
With the blue
Like that portrait is on your
hair.
shirt.
Like, what's happening here?
What is happening? That picture wasn't there 20 minutes ago.
Nice Snowman Garden.
That's what I was doing that whole time. You know.
We're getting in
There was a very Vanna White moment there, Kay. It was lovely.
Thank you.
All right, well let's end this bad boy.
Well, guys, any other thoughts on the book? Where do you rank this book?
Fucking angry about how long it takes to get to the climax of these books.
Well, yeah, but that's a recurring thing
Right?
with you.
I,
You hate
Kay
it.
said this is one of her
share
favorites.
that. I share that with
like,
Josh.
really? I had to read 650 fucking pages to get to the last chapter.
Mhm.
That's how books work.
That's how books
Josh.
work.
That's how books work.
Yeah.
Most books
Try
bring you
try
manga.
reading One Piece. You got to read like 1,200 pages before you get to the last
And then leave you hanging.
Keep flapping, puppets. Keep flapping. You guys make no sense sometimes. It's just
You're
not
right.
need to happen. We don't
Wow.
need to have all these chapters, all these
Did-
things.
did-
Don't need to happen for it to get to this point. It really does make a lot of sense for it to just move forward after each book and not
Oh, she sent Ryan away.
like big chunks of blah. And then we have to walk a lot and share a lot, feel and figure things out.
Feel
Get
mix a lot.
traumatized a
Takes no
lot.
energy here.
Then we have the battle that moves the story forward. It's a little frustrating, you know.
Well, I was hoping Ryan could hang out for 2 more minutes because we're
I
wrapping up.
know, right?
All right, so everyone, thank you for joining us. We are through the halfway point, past the halfway point, but here we are.
Oh, he's back. Babes, you got my number, 867 Bella.
867 Bella.
No, you all better buy a beanie with Dome of Truth stitched on it, because that's
Dome
the
of
Josh.
Truth.
That's the Josh beanie.
DFT.
We're thrilled every episode we do. We're thrilled to have you, Kay, and Josh join us each and every week. We love our chat. We love what we're doing. This is a passion of ours. We enjoy the Wheel of Time a great deal, enough to talk about it for like freaking 5 or 6 hours a week. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Everything's awesome.
Everything is awesome.
awesome.
Exactly.
Ryan,
yeah.
you want anything else?
Everything is awesome.
Josh,
Brian.
read the fuck off.
Huh?